There's an uncomfortable truth right now unfolding in society which totally redefines what it means to have a job and what it means to have people working within your company or your business. And for some people, you're not going to like what I say, whereas for other people, if you simply adapt to what I'm about to tell you, you're going to be on the edge of the future in what it means to run businesses that have insanely high amounts of leverage that require little to no people to run and operate a business. We're entering a world where productivity no longer requires people to scale something at an incredible rate. Now with software, code, and media, and especially agents, you can do what it used to take 1,000-man team with just a simple person and a few agents. Or even if you do have any people, you could just be a team of 5-10 people with a few agents doing the work that would take before a team of thousands of people to do. To get the record straight, and this is still growing and unfolding year by year and month by month, you'll see more of this, but to show you some stats, to show you what I mean by how much leverage you can enable your business with, here are some companies that already have done that. Telegram. Telegram has roughly 30 remote employees with a $30 billion valuation. There's no office. OnlyFans has a 42-member team doing billions in revenue with some of the highest revenue per employees to date. Cursor AI scaled to $100 million in annual recurring revenue in just 21 months with 20 people. Cal AI, the fitness calorie tracker app with 4 people, scaled to about 20 million in annual recurring, in which was recently just acquired. Craigslist, which does about $1 billion a year in sales, has about 50 employees. Instagram, pre-acquisition, sold for $1 billion with 13 people. WhatsApp, pre-acquisition, scaled to a $19 billion exit with 55 people. The industrial age brought systems, people in place to produce things at scale, whereas that muscle is no longer really needed in the digital age of the internet and things that are happening online. In the industrial era, labor was muscle. In the digital era, labor was knowledge. In the AI era, labor is logic. The shift isn't about replacing workers, but it's about replacing inefficiencies that your businesses and companies rely on. Because what systems and processes you have placed now are quickly getting outdated with what is happening now in AI, agents, and all these artificial intelligence systems that are coming out at a rapid pace every single week at this point. And that the more that this goes on, you will quickly begin to see companies rising at a crazy fast rate where there's just 1 or 2 people doing things with AI agents, AI systems, anything you can imagine, scaling to millions and billions in revenue. And there's a bunch of layoffs happening right now, especially in tech. Companies are beginning to realize that they can downsize the whole entire team of thousands of people. I mean, X, their developer department supposedly has now about, say, a couple dozen people there, whereas before there was thousands of people there. You're looking also at shifts in Block, in Meta. Other companies are trying to replicate what a few of these companies were able to achieve with just small man operations, where now you no longer need thousands of people in place. And the thing is, these companies aren't just firing everyone overnight. They're just not hiring people back. And the thing is, one agent can replace a whole entire department. Payroll, human resources, marketing. And the thing is, if you're a solo operator or solopreneur and you don't like relying on people, you don't like relying on virtual assistants or anything that is outside of your own sovereignty, then this is a default no-brainer option where if you can simply replace all those processes and inefficiencies of going through the headache of hiring people, looking for the right candidate, outsourcing work to someone you may not trust or may be overpriced. If an agent can do that, it's a no-brainer. We are now beginning to see companies becoming agent first in terms of how they're delivering outcomes. And this is pre-era before agents, they can have their own identities online where they're on their own social pages. I mean, recently we just had Moltbook with the rise of OpenClaw, which was the first social media platform for AI agents. I mean, it was still technically BS because you pretty much have to still prompt the AI in order to go access the API, post on this platform, and then have a conversation. So it's not like these AI agents were actually having their own conversations. I mean, at first when we saw that, we were like, what the hell is going on here? But that wasn't the case. It was obviously kind of just a fad. But very soon, this is going to be very, very real. Right now, it's still the companies where they're trying to become agent first to deliver these outcomes at scale, which typically would require agencies, consulting businesses, or other sorts of online businesses to do at scale with people and just basic software. Whereas now, you can have agents which pretty much act like humans on the web, delivering full-on deliverables and outcomes for clients that would take days or a lot of time and effort in order to deliver at scale. Whereas now you can just do it in minutes at a fraction of the cost at an insane rate with AI agents. And now the trend that is unfolding is people are going to be subscribing to outcomes that they can get on a consistent basis. So versus going to specific people or whatnot, software fundamentally is completely changing, because now you're no longer going to be just subscribing to a software for the sake of having a software. You're going to be subscribing to agents that can deliver a specific outcome, which is the job to be done. And that's ultimately what we all want, right? Better, faster, cheaper. And what this means is that these big enterprises that may be slow to adapt, or medium-sized businesses, or even small businesses that are not adapting any of this stuff, if you are bottlenecking your scale and it's very difficult to scale, well, anyone who can do this at a much cheaper and faster rate than you to adapt into this massive shift that's unfolding right now, they're going to scale faster. They're going to have more leverage in terms of how much they can scale and how fast they can scale, because they have more cash on hand. Decisions are going to be able to be made faster because there's no politics involved. There's not a lot of key decision makers. It's just you and a couple agents and maybe a few other team members. And all this work can be done 24/7 in any language at scale. So the power is shifting to every single business owner or operator or anyone who adapts to this new technology that can enable their business with AI agents. So it's not about getting scared or frightened about everything that is happening. And this is going to happen regardless, whether you hear it from me, from anyone online, or from someone you hear tell you about it. I'm just telling you what's inevitable. It's like, this is all happening right now. It's literally happening right now. So the thing is not to get upset about it or to complain about it, but it's to figure out, if you're working somewhere, how can you become more high value, or maybe even create your own agent run or agent first business? Whereas if you're a company owner or a business owner or someone in high power in a high position within a company, then it's about how can you enable your business to become agent first or agent run? Because if you're not, you're just going to get left back behind. Someone's going to have an AI advantage over you. They can scale faster. They can take up market share way faster. And if you're not doing that, someone else will, believe it or not, whether or not you like it. So it's really about first auditing where you're currently at. Audit where your finances are going. Audit where your time is going. Audit where you could potentially be making more money. These are the 3 areas I like to prioritize first. Where can you save money? Where can you get your time back? And where can you make more money? You are in a process of getting some sort of agent system. Figure out where you can allocate people or resources into that. So in case the agent breaks or something happens, how can these people unblock them? Because now there's even sites out there where, say, there are agents, say, submitting requests, tasks. I forget what the website is. If I find it, I'll put it up on the video. But you can hire a human to unblock an agent with a task. It's crazy, but it's going to be the same process within businesses, because certain tasks may require a human to approve it or get something done. So it's like, how can you get agents in place to do tasks, do work, and then how can a human or a person on your team unblock that agent, whereas this person is focusing on something else within the organization that's quite high leverage? I mean, Claude, they have a massive $1 billion organization, and their marketing, just what I read from an article recently, was all pretty much just handled by one person using Claude Code. It's insane. So it's really about building out the automations and the processes first, and then figuring out how you can have people, whether it's a solo operator or a small set of people, running these agents and using the tools at your disposal or that are available. And it feels weird saying this, because traditionally this is how work and business has always been done, with a human first approach. You want to speak to a human, things like that. But this is changing very fast. And whether or not you adapt, that is totally up to you. But every single era has some sort of massive shift, and this is one of the craziest massive shifts that are happening right now, and you have to adapt to it. And the key insight I want you to take away is, how can you redefine how humans provide value in terms of your organization, your team, or whatnot? And previously, where you put humans in place to optimize efficiency, output for some sort of mechanical work, you want to now redefine, what does value mean? Is it strategy? Is it creativity? Is it somewhere else that is totally being underutilized? It's not about throwing rocks at your people. It's about redefining what a human means in the current business I'm operating, and how can they actually offer legitimate value. Because if there aren't, then what's the point of having a 100-person team when they could just be you and 2 other people plus a bunch of agents? This is the birth of the post-human labor era. And the question isn't whether AI will replace your job, because it certainly will, especially on the internet. It's about whether or not you will build a system that will replace the work that it typically would take a human to do, because you certainly can. And a new elite class is going to be the people who have access and build out the systems to the agents that can run a full entire organization 24/7 with very little to no human input. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in another one.